deal, but it's a serious case. So we're looking at performance management. Toby will be working on this for OKK shortly. I think that will be this thing for next month. So that is why you see the way we created group for different regions of work. It will also help us to monitor the people. So we are looking at performance management. Like play, this is week 5 already. So, but once again, I don't know. Maybe I will have to teach you people the trick of how to expand the pages of your employee handbook. At least, I say at least 25 pages. So, you know the thing, once you print it out now, if the pages is not well okay, it won't come out well. So, yeah, let's move on. Today, we are looking at the objective is just for us to develop a practical HR skill for measuring, managing, and improving employee performance. So, let's look at the second slide. I think I need to operate from here. Okay. So, hold on, let me play it. Yeah. So the second slide. So, what is performance management? What is performance management? Number one, it is a continuous process of improving employee performance. When we say continuous process, I will use an example like home connection in OKK. You see that there is frequent meeting of the top management with the project managers and even the installers. So what is happening there is a continuous process of improving employee performance. And you can see the organization was able to rise from, I don't know the position last year, but from what I checked the last time, I think number 3 now. So it's a whole lot to put international company behind or very close to them. It's because there is a continuous learning processes. So number 2 is to align employee goals with organizational goal. To apply employee goals with organizational goal, what that means is this. Like that happened in the case of one of my employee, I'm not going to call name. She was in the finance section, so and I had a private discussion and I saw that her zeal and the goal that she wants to pursue is in human resource. So what I did is upon retention, I have to navigate her down to human resource. So because the reason is this, if you leave them in that place that they don't want, they might be whiling away time with your job. Once they get what they want, they leave you behind and move. So the next thing is also to include planning, monitoring, and feedback and review. So this is the whole of performance management. When you hear performance management, that is what it means. So let's look at it. What are the goals of performance management? I have stated it earlier from slide 1, but let me re-emphasize it again. Is to improve productivity. If you are in business and you are not making money, I tell you, there's nothing you are doing there. The best is for you to what? Shut down. So if you are not improving your productivity and you are not making money, something is wrong. So another thing is align employee work with company strategies, which I just said now. It is HR corporate responsibility to ensure that each department in an organization is in alignment with what the CEO or the MD wants for the organization. Reward high performance. Something just happened, that is 2 days ago. My attention was called to home connection units in an organization to see how far they have performed and the rest. So, and after due review with the MD and the head of department, the GM, so we didn't meet fit that they are entitled to bonuses and they were giving bonus. And I know that can cancel a lot of things at home. If you cannot pay the whole school fees, you can do parts. If you cannot do part, at least you can stock the fridge and a whole lot. So that will also give the employee a kind of morale that when we do more, they see it and like that. So as an HR, we should reward high performance. So we are also to address poor performance. I think I just did one of recent. After employing the person, I just see that the person is not medically fit. So I try to like look into the whole matter and just terminate the person. Or it was on a referral and the person was just trying to like, why now? Because of sickness. I say no. I will not bring a liability on a company, neither put the person through this. So for now, when the person is fit, you can reach out. Anything I have, I can offer. So that is just it. We have to be blunt in taking our decisions. The next slide. Performance appraisal system. We have 4 major performance appraisal system. For permit me to measure a name of the company, OKK. So the performance review that we will be looking at this year will be 360-degree feedback. So it's already applying in some departments already. So it's one of the best anyway. It's one of the best. But we have 4 types. Annual performance review. This is when an organization waits till December to do review. December, while some wait to the next year, that's the preceding year, which is the January, and take their preview, do reward those that need to reward by cash or promotion and the rest. So the 360-degree is that type that you get feedback from the supervisor, feedback from the peers, that is the colleague, and also get feedback from the customer the person is dealing with. So you are going all around 360-degree to ensure that you get the best out of this employee. Then we have MBO, which is management by objective. So this is project-based. For example, I can say, Kome, for this month, I want us to hit the target of 3,000 home connections. So I want you to divide Lagos into 3, and we have 5,000 home connection pass, and 4,000 is doable. So out of this 4,000, I want you to achieve 3,000. But give me your strategy. So you allow the manager to come up with the strategy, for example, dividing Lagos into 2 major groups, and the 2 major groups dividing into 2 subgroups, and then raise up installers that will handle this and the strategy for them to go. So that is management by objective. You don't wait for 3 months, you don't wait for 5 months, you are marking them at the spot. Every day you take statistics. Maybe after your division, you see that every installer needed to do at least 2 per day. So anyone that is doing below that, you will not be happy with. You pursue through and provide all the necessary tools to ensure that the person meet up. Once that trajectory is on point, you are sure that you meet your 3,000. So that is by objective. Then we have continuous performance management. So what do we mean by continuous? When I discover that you lack Excel skills, we put you to a course that can do that. Immediately or through, we measure you up and we follow up weekly or monthly to see that you are upgrading and upskilling. So even the managers down to CEOs and everyone, it is recommended that this continuous performance management is recommended or given. So let's look at the next slide, 360-degree. So the 360-degree, I've looked at it before, but let's look at it now again. Let me go over it. I've said that before. You collect data from supervisor, from peers, from subordinates, from customers, and then self-assessment. So let's look at the next one, KPIs and performance metrics. So in life, if you look at it personally yourself, if you don't outline something you want to achieve for the year and begin to tick it, little do you know that 365-degree days will pass you by and you will not know. You will not achieve any single thing. That is why any professional, I repeat, that don't know how to come out with to-do list is not an effective performer. And that person will continue to forget things. So as an HR, outline what you have for the week. My subordinate will always tell me, sir, what do we have for this week? What do we have for today? At an interval in a day again, I ask, Alpha, what is on your decks? So we keep like checking up things like that. So that is metrics. You are measuring your KPI. So KPI measure how well an employee achieve objective. So, but KPI must be smart, must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Yes. What do we mean by that? I'll give you a scenario in the course of this class. So let's move on. Now, example of KPIs. Example of KPIs. So let's look at it. For example, sales executive monthly target, HR recruitment cycle time. What do I mean? Sales executive, we give them their metric monthly. For HR officer, what you do majorly is recruitment cycle. What do we mean by that? The time it takes you to fill up a vacancy, openings in an organization. For customer service, what we look at there is we call it CSAT, customer satisfaction score. We reach out to the customer, how happy are they? For project manager, we look at project delivery timeline. Do we get that now? So I've been able to capture an organization, a marketing focused organization, a HR consulting focused organization, a customer service consultation organization, and then a project organization. So let's look at the next slide. Practical workplace example. So let's look at a telecom infrastructure company, of which I believe majority of you in the class are familiar with this company. So the role we are considering here is site engineer. What is the KPI we are giving the site engineer? We are saying that install 5 towers per month. 5 towers per month. So what we are checking is 100% safety compliance. As a person is climbing the towers to install the microwaves or the cables, the fiber cables, is this person wearing helmets? Is he wearing reflective jacket so that if anybody see him or her up there, they will know that this is an engineer? Is a person wearing the safety boots? Is a person climbing with a safety ladder? Is there another engineer holding the ladder that when the person climbed? 100% safety compliance meets project timeline. So install 5 towers in how many weeks? Is it a month? And like that. So these are the example. So let's move on and see. We also look at feedback and coaching. So in feedback and coaching, effective feedback should be timely, specific, constructive, and respectful. Also, coaching helps employees to improve performance and skill. So when they say something is timely, I ask you to report back by 12. And by 11:50, 11:30, you are done. You are timely. If you keep coming on dots, you are trying, but I can't give you 100%. Specific, as you are coming to me, any challenges, you are pointing them out straight, direct. You are pointing it out. Constructive, maybe something is wrong. I should be able to give you back, or you are able to correct me as your boss. Sir, I discovered that the ASD recruitment that we did, we did not put into consideration the age and the previous work experience. So therefore, I think we should not continue because I believe that the age will be a barrier when we get to the final stage when the management will have to put their input. So that is so constructive enough. So respectful. Maybe something is wrong. Boss, the candidate A you pick over B, I discovered that you did not put into consideration the location. Therefore, I prefer that the B go over A. With all due respect, sir. So you believe you have passed your message, but you are still respectful. So let's move on. How do we handle poor performance? How do we handle poor performance? I believe 2 of us on the call have had the opportunity to handle people before. So I will allow Kome to give our own view before I continue. Kome, if your background is not noisy, can you tell us how you handle poor performance before? Just within 1 to 2 minutes, please.
It's a bit noisy, but I'll just manage. So, in my organization, right, we have like a consequence management system where there are like different levels to it. There's a very basic minimum one where 1 point you did 1 point translates to 500 naira deduction. Then it now transcends to maybe you are using that and the person is still not coming up to speed, it transcends to oral warning, giving the person an oral warning. And in my organization, after 3 oral warnings, you are already at risk of dismissal. Oh, sorry, suspension and then dismissal. So those are like already laid down steps that we can use in my own organization currently.
Thank you so much, Kome. Abosede, do you have any contribution? Or Toby? Have you ever managed poor performance before? Any of you can speak. Abosede and Oluwatobi, are you here?
Hello, sir.
Okay, have you ever managed poor performance before?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, let's proceed. I believe, Abosede, your network. Okay, let's move on now. Okay. So case study discussion, let's look at it now. Employee we're looking at now is sales executive. The target for the month is 5 prospects weekly. David, you are welcome. Then we expect these employees to close 3 deals monthly. Now the actual 2 prospects weekly and 1 deal monthly. So what is HR intervention in this case? If you discover that this guy is not meeting up, we look at training and mentoring that can help the guy. But while we are doing that, we will continue to have weekly reviews. Weekly reviews is very, very important. You check what the person is doing. See, as an HR, on no account will you assume this person is doing well. Always push your managers, ask them questions. If it's a small organization, you have to keep pushing yourself. You have to keep pushing yourself. The customer service always get their recording with the customer and listen to, and that will help you to get the overview of the organization. So let's look at the next slide. So I think that is all we have. I will explain the assignment and I'll go to the note that is more explicit than this PowerPoint. No PowerPoint will just bring out small things. So the assignment, I want us to create a performance appraisal template that include employee information, KPIs evaluation, competence assessment, development plan, and overall performance rating. That is what I expect us to do. So I will stop sharing this now, run through our notes once again, and allow us to interact. So let me share our notes. Let me share our notes. So confirm that you can see the note I'm sharing, please. Can we see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please let's
I
go.
can, but it's not zoomed out. Looking very small.
You want me to increase it small? What about now?
Okay, the same one you shared with us.
It's what I share with you.
Yes. Yes.
Is it better now?
It's fine. It's the same thing. It's fine.
Okay, let me run you through it again. David, you will get the full picture now. Performance management is a continuous process used by organization to ensure employees are working effectively towards organizational goals. Number 1, it involves setting clear expectations. I used to ask the MDs, sir, what do you want? What is your expectation? Because if you don't ask them, you will think that if people are on the same page, you go and do one thing, say, no, now that is not what I want. Even managers too. You ask your MD what they want. monitoring employee performance, providing regular feedback, evaluating results, developing employee for improvement. Now, performance management is not just an annual appraisal, but an ongoing cycle of planning, monitoring, reviewing, and improving performance. So, key goals of PM, performance management. Number one is to improve employee productivity, align employee goals with company strategy, identify training and development need, reward high performance, and correct poor performance. I said that earlier. Now, performance appraisal system. This is a structured system used to evaluate an employee performance over a specific period. Get it now. Performance management is overall. Performance appraisal is for specific time. You understand? So let's look at different types of appraisals. Number one, we have traditional annual appraisal. Traditional annual appraisal. In this one now, employees are evaluated once in a year by their supervisor. What is the advantage? The pros is simple and easy to administer. Very simple. The cons, that is the negativity. It delays feedback. Imagine somebody that has not been doing well from January. Why in March now you are not aware? Until the last quarter of the year that you start your appraisal, that is when you know. Whereas you would have known, train the person and the person become perfect. It also does not capture continuous performance. It does not. So the second one is 360-degree feedback. I've explained that what it means. Let's look at an example here now. A marketer manager is assessed by the sales director, fellow marketers, sales team, and major clients. So this provides a holistic view of performance. You understand? So you provide a holistic view. So in this case, the director will assess the person. They will also ask the fellow marketer, whenever you go out, does this person help? Does this do this? Does this do that? You check that. And also the sales team, then the major clients. For example, if your major clients are banks, maybe Stanbic IBTC, GT Bank, Providence, you will call the relationship manager or the person, the contact person there, and ask about the marketer, how they are doing. So the next thing is MBO. I've discussed that. So it's measured by projects, how you achieve your project, a certain goal. So we can now come and say that, yes, this person has been increased sale by 15%, reduced customer complaint by 20%, deliver 3 major projects on schedule. So continuous is regular check, real-time feedback, performance tracking tools. So the many global companies uses HR software like Bamboo HR, Zoho, Workday, Seamless HR, which other one? There are plenty of them pursuing me every day. So we'll make use of them. So the next one is KPI. I've talked about that, key performance indicator. I will run you through this before the recording time goes off. So principle and meaning. For example, KPI must be smart. That means it must be specific. What do we mean by specificity here? We mean that it must be clearly defined, measurable, it must be quantifiable. Yes, we need you to bring us 300 million naira in a month. Yes, you can measure it. So achievable, it must be realistic. Not that go and employ 100 people within 1 day. It is not achievable. 1 week, it is not achievable if you have not kept those people somewhere. So don't be an HR that they will just run to unbox that we need 10 people today. Do you keep them inside cage? So that is very important. Then relevant. You must link it to company goals. Time bound, you must define the time frame. So example of KPIs. For example now, let's look at it. The role, sales executive, your KPI is monthly sales targets, and the measurement there is maybe 5 million naira sales per month. For HR, recruitment cycle time. Then when I say that you must, every opening, you must close it within 30 days per vacancy. Customer service. We look at customer satisfaction. Your rating must not be below 90%. Project manager will look at project delivery and we must say that you must be on time on completion. If it is 2 months, you must close within that 2 months. So I've given this example before in a telecom, when we have site engineer, number of towers installed, the target there is 5 towers per month. Safety compliance must be 100%. Project completion within schedule. Now, the KPI there, okay, we also look at equipment damage. The target is 0 incidents. So if engineer installs 6 towers in 1 month, he has exceeded expectation because we gave him or her 5. So the importance of feedback is this. We need to understand what they are doing well, what they are not, where they need improvement, what they are not doing, and how they should grow professionally. So, and feedback should be timely, specific, constructive, respective. So I've said that. So we have type of feedback. We have positive feedback. Positive feedback. For example, your coordination of the tower installation team reduced project delay. Excellent job. That is positive. So we also have constructive feedback. For example, your project reports are often submitted late. Let's work on setting a reporting schedule to improve timeliness. You understand? So that is how to give your constructive feedback. I've talked about coaching. It's very important. The example there is an HR manager coaching a recruitment officer on how to improve candidate screening techniques. So some of the causes of poor performance here: lack of training, poor supervision, lack of motivation, personal problem, and unclear job expectation. When you don't tell your employee what to do, they will never perform well. So look at the example. A marketer is expected to bring 5 sales prospects per week, but consistently bring only 2 prospects. So what do? Take the second step after you identify that. You should discuss with that marketer. Your sales prospects are below target for the past 3 weeks. Let's discuss what challenge you are facing. You understand? Then you provide support. Give additional training. Give a clear sales strategy, coaching, and work tools. So set improvement targets. So you can say that the employee is given 30 days to meet the minimum target. Issue performance improvement plan. We call it PIP. PIP, anywhere you hear it, that means performance improvement plan. So if performance does not improve, the employee is placed on PIP. So from there, you'll be able to improve. So example of PIP now, for sales executive, failure to meet target. You will now say your improvement plan is this: weekly. The target for you is 5 minimum prospects. Your timeline is 4 weeks. Deal to close minimum of 3, and the timeline is within a month. Yes, that is what's expected to do. So your case study discussion, for example, a digital media marketing agency. For example, in Abuja, the employee is John, the sales executive. So the target is 5 prospects per week, 3 completed deal per month. So you have to check. Now, HR, what do you do in this case? If you see that John is not meeting up, you have to check through very well. And if you discover that John lacked proper training in digital product sales, he had difficulty approaching corporate clients, had low confidence in presentation. So your intervention is to provide the sales training, assign mentor, and set weekly performance checking. So result within a month, you have to check. Has John increased? If John has increased, fine. If John has not increased, do again. And after that, you can let John go. So with this, this is what we have for today. And this covers performance management and appraisal, which is very, very key in any organization if your employee must stay. This improves employee retention. So look at it now, because this is what leads to salary increase, leads to promotions in job cadres. So the assignment I have for you is to create a performance template. Look at below is the standard performance templates I want you to use. So, but you are going to form a hypothetical employee name, position, set your targets in this format, and get back to me before week runs out. So I want to give us room for questions before we run out. I think we have 3 more minutes. Questions. David, it seems David has gone out of the call. I'm not seeing him. Okay, David is no longer here. Oganekome, any question? Toby, any question? Aboside, any question?
Hello, sir. I don't have any questions, sir.
So if you don't have any question, can you summarize what you have learned?
Okay, what I've learned so far is about performance management. And so the key point I picked was that performance management is a regular process, and this appraiser is once in a while, like it's not every time, but performance is like every time is consistent, following up with staff to check their performance. If they are bringing results, and if they are not, we'll give them steps on how to improve them. And by the end of the day, if they are not delivering what the company wants, then the company will decide on them. And the appraiser is once in a while. It is not a regular thing.
Thank you so much. Oganekome, please, any question or you have anything to say before we wrap up, please?
Yeah, so I don't even know if it's a question actually. So in the case where, for example, in my case, I have managers under me, then those managers have staff under them, like member of staff, regular field engineers and technicians. In a case where an appraisal is done and maybe, for example, the one of the project managers is appraising somebody, one of the field engineers now, for example, and the field engineer is not agreeing with the appraisal because he feels like he has done way more than what the project manager is doing. How to handle that, sir?
Okay, thank you so much. That is why regular meeting with your people matters a lot. I've had a scenario in a banking system where the head of unit, she was so toxic, and almost everybody that was part of them were doing our bits. So when they appraise us, we score well. But at the end, we discovered that we're not awarded because our supervisor habit and everything was rubbing off on us. So what the group head now did later is to appraise everybody individually. And we discovered that our own head did not get promotion, and a lot of people under her got a lot of promotion. So you must get your face down to the least person under you. But that does not mean you should be on their case every day. By the result they are turning in, and by constant talking with them and the parameter they cover, you can see. You cannot tell me that somebody that is having 40 installation every week